So in these examples, we are going to be checking a calculation. We're going to do it without the use of our calculators. So for this first example here, it says, suppose you multiply 5,698 and 12,307 and arrive at the product 70,126,286. Is this number correct? So without really using our calculators, we're going to use one of our divisibility tests to be able to see if this is correct. Now you can use any of the divisibility tests that we covered in this section, but I'm going to use casting out nines because it's the most straightforward and probably the simplest to use, but you can use any of them. So I'm going to take 5,698, and then we have 12,307. And I'm going to use casting out nines. So for the 5,698, I've got a 9 right here. And I'm left with 5 plus 6, that's 11, plus 8. That's going to be congruent to 19, which is congruent to 9 goes into 19 twice with 1 left over. That's going to be congruent to 1 modulo 9. I'll do the same for the 12,307. I'll cancel out the 0, the 7, and the 2. So that's going to give us congruent to 4 modulo 9. So that means if I take 5,698, multiply it to 12,307, I can do the same with their remainders. So that's 4 times 1. That's got to be congruent to 4 modulo 9. So if I multiply these two numbers together and divide it by 9, I should come up with a remainder of 4. So that should be the same for the 70,126,286. I should come up with a remainder of 4. So we'll check it out. 70,126,286. We'll cast out our nines. We'll get rid of the 0 here. I've got an 8 and a 1. That's a 9. I've got a 7 and a 2. That's 9. I've got 6, 7, 8, and 6 more. That's 14. So that's congruent to 14. And 14 is congruent to 5 mod 9. So we did not come up with the same remainder. We came up with a remainder of 5, and here we came up with a remainder of 4. So if I multiply 5,698 to 12,307, it will not come up to be 70,126,286. So just for the heck of it on our calculator here, 5,698 times the 12,307, it actually comes out to be 70,125,286. Here we have 70,126,286. So it seems as though checking our calculation happened to work. So we're going to use the same process for this next example here, except we have these really large numbers here. And the display capacity for our calculator does not necessarily give us the correct answer, so it's hard to tell. But this one says, suppose you multiply 38,101,329,615,893 and 370,790,396 and arrive at the product 14 sextillion 127 quintillion 607 quadrillion 96 trillion 403 billion 493 million 363,628. Now that is a large number. Is this number correct? So we're going to use the same idea. We're going to use casting out nines. Now again, you can use any of the divisibility tests. As a matter of fact, maybe you should practice using casting out 11s or casting out 7s. But again, I think casting out nines is the simplest way. But we'll take our 38, 101, 329 615 893, and I'll do the 370 790 and 396. Casing out nines, I got to make sure you got to go through here nice and carefully. I'm going to just go ahead and do the nines and the zeros first right away. Then I can see I've got an 8 and a 1, that's 9. I've got an 8 and a 1 over here, that's 9. I've got a 6 and a 3, that's 9. I've got a 5, 6, and 3 more, that's 9. And I think we've got 3 and 2 left here, so that's going to be congruent to 5 mod 9. So if I divide 9 into this number here, I'm going to come up with a remainder of 5. We'll do the same here. We'll get rid of our zeros and our nines. I've got a 6, 7, 8, 9 right here. 7 plus 7, it's 14. And 3 more, that's 17. So 17 is congruent to 8 mod 9. 9 goes into 17 one time with 8 left over. So if I multiply this number to this number, it would be the same as multiplying 8 times 5, which is congruent to 40. 9 goes into 40 6 times. With 4 left over, that would be 4 modulo 9. So if I multiply this number to this number and then divide it by 9, I'm going to come up with a remainder of 4. So if I multiply this number to this number and it does come out to be this one, then if I multiply to this large number here, or if I divide this number here by 9, I should come up with the same remainder of 4. So we'll try it. 14, 127, 607, 096, 403, 493, 363, and 628. So here we go. We'll get rid of the zeros and the nines. And then anything that sums up to 9, I've got an 8 down here and a 1 way over here. Here's 7, 8, 9 right there. Here is a 7, 8, 9 down here. 6 and 3 makes 9. 6 and 3 again makes 9. Here is a 6 and a 3 right here. Here is a 4, a 4, that's 8, and then here's 9 right here. Here is a 6 and a 3. Let's see if we got all our numbers here, and we're left with a 4. So that's congruent to 4 mod 9. So it seems that if I took this number, it's 38,101,329,615,893, and multiply it to this number here, 370,790,396, it will indeed come out to be this number here. So I think we got it.